Honestly, I hope this is the biggest book haul I ever do, because it can't get worse from here. Right? Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Ian, I'm Ian the Reader, and today I'm gonna be doing another book haul because I have no self-control, and I know it's only November 24th at the time of filming, and it'll be like November 26th at the time of posting, and there's still time in November, but I will not buy any more books because I have like 25 books to talk to you guys about today. And that's not good because I bought like 21 books in October, and then I bought like 20-something books in November, and I have no self-control apparently. Here's my problem. I cannot resist a good bargain or like a cheap book that I'm semi-interested in. Like, okay, all of these books that I'm gonna be talking about today, I did not buy at full price. I did not buy a single one of them for more than like $8 probably, and most of them I bought for like $1 at my library or $2 at my used bookstore clearance section, or I got from little free libraries. I just can't say no to a good deal on a book, okay? I'm sorry, I'm sorry, it's just who I am. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and briefly talk about all of the books that I purchased in the month of November. Just a heads up though, I'm not gonna be talking too long about any of them or tell you too much about them because one, that would be a daggum long video and who wants to watch that? And two, I'm still not feeling 100%, and so talking a lot just ain't vibing with me right now. So let's go ahead and jump on into the books that I purchased in November. I'm gonna go ahead and do this by like genre, that way I kind of have a little bit more organization for all the books that I purchased. So first, let's go ahead and just jump into the general literary fiction / like historical fiction books that I bought in November. First up, we have 50 Words for Rain by Asha Lemmy. I don't know if that's how you say the name. I hope so. This is a historical fiction book that is set in like the post-World War II Japan. I don't really know a lot about the plot of this book, to be honest. I've just seen some good reviews for it, and it was on sale for $2, and I liked the cover, so I went ahead and picked this one up. I'm very excited to find out more about it though. Then we have The Gargoyle by Andrew Davidson. This book I've actually already read, and it will be featured in a reading vlog that is going up on Saturday. This book follows an unnamed narrator who is in a terrible accident on page 1 of this book, so that's not a spoiler, and his life kind of falls apart. And before the accident, he wasn't in the greatest spot either, just because of the circumstances of his life and his struggles and things like that. And it kind of deals with the aftermath of that, him kind of trying to pick up the pieces of his life. But there's also this really interesting angle involving historical fiction in that this woman comes into his life and says that they have known each other for like 300 years in past lives, and it goes from there. It's really interesting. Definitely check out my reading vlog on Saturday for my thoughts on this one. Next up, we have 2 books by Barbara Kingsolver. The first of those is The Bean Trees that I got from a little free library. I'm actually currently reading this book and really enjoying it. I'm about halfway through. It follows a young girl. She's about 20, I believe, and she leaves home just kind of trying to find her own way, trying to find something different for herself, and on her journey, she somehow ends up being responsible for this 3-year-old Native American girl. That's not what she planned, but it's how things turn out. I'm really enjoying this so far. It kind of gives me like the story life of A.J. Fikry vibes, which I love that book, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. After having started that book and realizing that I was really enjoying her writing, I decided to pick up another Barbara Kingsolver book, and I got this for like $3 at an antique shop, and that is the Poisonwood Bible, which this is the book that I feel like she is most known for. It's really like critically acclaimed. It's considered like a modern classic, and I have been really wanting to read this, and like I said, I found it for $3, and I really love like the colors on this. I think it's really nice. I love orange, and like the yellow looks really good, as does the tree. It's just a nice looking book, so I'm really excited to read this one pretty soon. Then I picked up The Orchard Keeper by Cormac McCarthy. I've been really wanting to get into Cormac McCarthy's works a little bit more. I listened to The Road a few years ago, and I enjoyed it, and I think when I was in high school, I was supposed to read All the Pretty Horses by him, but I just couldn't get into it, and I didn't read it. But I've been hearing a lot about his works over the past few years. Really, The Blood Meridian, I've heard a lot of really good things about, and obviously like No Country for Old Men, and I'm just wanting to get into his works, and so I went ahead and picked up his debut novel. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a read pretty soon, and hopefully get more into his works after that. I'm very excited about it. Then I got one from a little free library that is definitely a little bit out there for me, and that is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. This one has obviously been shelved under romance, but I've also heard it be considered like really great historical fiction. Mike's Book Reviews and Brian Lee Durfee have both had really like high praise for them in their reviews. I'll go ahead and link their channels down below, and they've just said they're really amazing historical fiction stories that more guys should give a chance, and I saw it at a little free library, so I was like, you know what, sure, let's give it a go. I don't know when I'll read this or if I'll even finish it, but I'm willing to give it a try at the very least. Then we have the Topeka School by Ben Lerner. I don't know too much about this book. I've seen it like kind of on social media a little bit, and I've seen it at Target for a while, and I saw it in hardback at my local used bookstore for $2 on clearance, and so I went ahead and picked it up. I know that it's set in the 90s, and it deals with some really heavy topics, and it's just kind of like a literary or contemporary fiction book, and I'm interested. I love me some interesting family dynamics and drama and all that jazz. Next, we have The Most Fun We Ever Had by Claire Lombardo. I've been wanting to read this one for a while. This is a family story revolving around some daughters and their parents, and it's a like multi-generational story. It covers a lot of time, and I'm into that. I like books that are really long and deal with like a family over a lot of years, and I've heard it's really good, and this copy was signed and it was only $8, so there you go. And the last book in this category is Stone Arabia by Dana Spiotta. I actually already read this book for my vlog as well, so go ahead and check that out on Saturday. This one is another one of those books that has really great family dynamics. It also talks a lot about art and the media and kind of like our perceptions of ourselves. I have a lot of thoughts on this one, so definitely check out that video on Saturday. All right, so moving on, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the 3 thrillers that I purchased this month. Those being The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. I've heard a lot of buzz about this. This is a 2021 release, and I found it at my library for $1, so that's pretty dope. I'm really excited about it. Don't know a lot about it, but I had to pick it up. Then we have The Survivors by Jane Harper. I've been really wanting to read one of her books before. She also wrote The Dry, which got turned into a movie that got a lot of really great reviews recently. And I don't know a lot about this one either, but I'm all about thrillers, and I've heard good things about this. My friend Heather from Heather's Book Review says that it's really good, so I'm very interested to check this one out. And again, I found it for $1 at my library, so that's pretty awesome. And the last thriller that I picked up is The Last Flight by Julie Clark. I am so excited about this one. I've been wanting to read it for like a year now. I've seen so much buzz about it on Instagram and YouTube, and I've just seen a lot of great reviews saying that it's really unpredictable and there's some great twists, and I found it at my used bookstore for $2, so that's awesome. All right, so I also picked up 3 classics this month. Those are Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes, or however you say his name. I've been wanting to read this one for a long time. It's one of the classics that I'm most hoping to get to next year, and this copy is so floppy, so I had to get it. Another classic I picked up and I'm hoping to get to soon is David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. I read Great Expectations by Charles Dickens last year and really enjoyed it, and this is the one I want to get to next. I also picked up a copy of Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. I've been wanting to pick up this book for a while. I'm really interested in Walt Whitman's works, as well as getting into more poetry, especially those of like more classic poets. And Brandon from Brandon's Bookshelf featured this book in his 11 Books That Changed His Life video. I'll go ahead and link that down below. His channel is so good. Definitely check him out. But when I saw that on there, I was just like, you know what, it's time. And so I saw this at an antique shop for like $4, and I really liked this copy, and so I went ahead and picked it up. Very excited to get to this next year. Next, I did pick up 2 horror books in the month of November. Those are Coco and The Throat, both by Peter Straub. These are in the same series. I believe this one comes first, and then The Throat is the sequel to it. I honestly don't know a lot about these books, but I've been wanting to read books by this author because he's co-written some books with Stephen King, The Talisman, and I believe it's either called Bleak House or Black House, that is the sequel to The Talisman, and I've been wanting to try his stuff, and so I saw these on clearance for $2, and I had to get them. Are you noticing a trend? Clearance, me, go together so well. And lastly, I wanted to go ahead and talk about all these sci-fi and fantasy books that I picked up this month. The first of those being Not Even Bones by Rebecca Schaefer. I already read this one for my vlog on Saturday as well. This is a YA book that follows a teenage girl named Nita who dissects supernatural creatures for her mother to sell. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Then I picked up Dark Magic by James Swain. And I don't know too much about this book. I know it's urban fantasy. It centers on a man who is like a magician, but he like also works as a psychic to kind of stop crimes before they happen. That's all I know. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Then I was also super excited to pick up a signed copy of Vicious in hardback for only $8 at my local used bookstore. Look at this thing. It is beautiful. I love this book. I read it as an ebook and I've been wanting to get a physical copy, so when I saw hardback, I was like, ooh, this looks good. And then I saw it was signed, so yay me. Somebody also left their tabs in here, so I'm really excited to see what they thought was super interesting in this book. Next up is one that could also be considered a classic, and that is The Master and Margarita. I've heard a lot of great things about this book. It's like a classic fantasy book that was originally written in Russian because it's a Russian fantasy, and it's like urban fantasy as well, I believe. I'm excited about it. It's set in Moscow, it's fantasy. I'm here for it. I'm really excited to see what I think of this one. And the last two books are ones that I'm so excited about. I've been wanting to buy these forever and read them for so long. The first book is currently out of print, and so I had to wait until I found it at my local used bookstore, and I found it, and then I found the second one really shortly after that, so that was really cool. Those are Empire of Silence and Howling Dark by Christopher Rocchio. I hope that's how you say his name. I'm so excited to read these. I will definitely be picking these up pretty soon. I'm planning on reading Empire of Silence in December and then reading one a month until the next book, Kingdom of Death, comes out in March. So yeah, definitely going to be getting to these very, very soon. They're such cool covers too, aren't they? I love these covers. This sounds right up my alley. It's a science fiction book that is supposed to be like kind of Gladiator inspired, I've heard. I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about these books, and I'm so excited to read them. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments which of these books I should prioritize getting to over the others. I'm really excited about all of them, and obviously I cannot resist a good cheap book. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I post every Tuesday and Friday and sometimes on the weekends, like this weekend. Like I said, keep an eye out for that reading vlog on Saturday. Don't be a stranger, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys! Where the heck am I even gonna put all these books?